Hello, and another example of a chess game where somebody thought they were playing Monopoly rather than chess, okay? Now let's look at a few moves. Most of this isn't really that relevant. Again, they castled, okay? Castling can often be catastrophic if the king is pinned in, as you will see. I wasn't too bothered about that. That did sort of cause a problem, but never mind. That was a genuine blunder by me, a total blunder. I wanted to try and move the queen up here. I wanted to move this pawn up, somehow get this out of the way somehow, perhaps by offering a rook, and then move this all the way up there. But it didn't work out quite as planned, but never mind. I thought I was up to and stopped it. So I want to somehow get that out of the way. They thought they were being clever there, because they thought that by sacrificing the bishop, I would move and then they could take my queen. But I moved my queen out of the way. I have a clever idea here. They fell for the trap, which I'd rather hope they would. They should have moved to threaten my rook, but they didn't. They moved all the way back. So now I can say goodbye to their queen. They've now lost their queen, and I'll lose a knight. I'm not quite sure why I did this, but never mind. Perhaps I was clever than I realised. King moves out the way. I now move the pawn up, so the king now cannot move at this moment in time. So at the moment, their king is currently trapped at the moment. At this point, they thought they would be clever. They saw that my rook here was vulnerable, and they thought they could take my rook off. So they moved my rook all the way to the bottom. There was nothing I could do to protect this particular rook, so I just had to move the king. I had no other choice. On the surface, this looks like a catastrophic blunder by me, and the question is, who did the blunder? Was it me playing white, or was it black that blundered by moving their rook out the way? They couldn't believe their luck. They took my rook off. However, while I lost a rook, they lost a king. Checkmate. Now, let's go back a bit. Sorry. And see what they could have done instead. I'll admit this isn't going to be very pretty, but they are worried at some point that my next move could be to somehow move the queen here and then take this rook off somehow. Checkmate. Or they could take the rook off and then I could take the rook off and then get another queen. And that also could then eventually generate a checkmate, even if they took it straight afterwards. So, what could they have done? Well, one thing they could have done is move the bishop out of the way. Then, oh, didn't realise that. So, it's more lethal than I thought. So if I've moved that out instead. Why can't they take that off? Oh yes, they could have taken it off that way. Okay. So then, at least at this point, I haven't been checkmated. Now, it probably would only be a matter of time, but then I could do something like this. And if I had messed up, there might have been a way out of it, potentially. But no. Instead, because they were so desperate to take one of my rooks off, they lost the game. Checkmate. So there you go, guys. More proof that chess is not Monopoly, and after castling, the king in very badly. Because at that point it would have been harder for me to do anything, although I was trying to get this queen here and somehow try and have no pawn there, though I hadn't worked out quite how to do that. I had thought of an idea which would have involved but it would have been harder for me. But that was my original plan, to try and get the queen there and somehow get a knight here without or in some way get something there so that or to do something, for example, sacrifice a rook so that move this out of the way, sacrifice a rook somehow so that the bishop would take the rook, not realising, then move the queen up, checkmate. That was part of my plan, but nonetheless, immediately they castled, and once they castled, they're generally pinned in. I'm surprised why people love castling so much, especially as you are often very badly pinned in afterwards. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Bye!